Hi, welcome to my channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Today we are going to be flipping a dresser, so let's get started. All right, guys, so today I am showing you this dresser, and it's in pretty rough shape. It is not missing any drawers, they're set aside, but this is how it came to us, and barely in one piece. There's a story behind that. But anyway, we got some things to fix on it now, and that's okay. But I picked this up at Goodwill for a good price before they went crazy on their prices. And we're going to get started, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, so we are out here in the garage. I have this dresser. We're going to be working on this for my son. He wants it for his TV stand, like what I have in the living room, which I think is going to be amazing. We're going to turn it into something gorgeous. The drawers are not missing. I have them set over here because we have to fix this top. This top is, well, it's disconnected because my youngest daughter dropped it off the truck. She tried to load it by herself. Anyway, Mama bought this dresser at Goodwill for $39.99, and I needed her to go pick it up. And she took it out of her truck, and then she tried to load it by herself, and it fell off and popped the top off of one end. So we're gonna fix this top real fast. Now, full disclosure, my son and I redid this dresser. Well, I can't really say my son and I. He worked on it a little bit. So I'm gonna give him credit where credit is due because he did help me a little bit. We redid this dresser in the summertime. All right, now my son has already used a red cutter on all of these drawers, and now we are going to spray paint them. There is a story behind it. I did not realize that he was planning on moving out. So here we go. I found this dresser, and he was helping me repair the top. We put some screws in it so that it would not come apart, and we used wood glue. Now I am just showing you that I went over the tops with the matte black 2x Rust-Oleum spray paint, and now I am clear coating them with the matte clear coat. And there are my two supervisors making sure that I do a good job. And I'm going over the top now with the matte black 2x Rust-Oleum spray paint. And I do give this 2 good coats. It was windy out this day, and so I was struggling. My husband brought me some cardboard. And anyway, you get the idea. Hi guys, okay, it is the next day. I have the dresser up on some sawhorses so I can paint the edges and the sides and not have to worry about, getting it on the floor and whatnot. My son picked a color. We are gonna go with the Annie Sloan Chicago Gray. Now I've already opened it, I've already mixed it really well, and I added a little bit of water because it was super thick. So we're gonna get started painting. Let's go. So this was only, I believe, the second time that I had used Annie Sloan paint. I had just picked up a bunch when we were in Arkansas, and that's where I got my fancy little apron there. And I picked up some Annie Sloan brushes and all that good stuff. So, but right now I'm just using a Dollar Tree brush because honestly, I don't like to clean my brushes. I like to use them and throw them away. So I don't feel bad about that for only paying $1.25. So I'm just showing you, I'm giving this a quick, easy, I call it a quick and dirty coat is what I call it because I don't take any time doing it. I just slap the paint on there as best I can for one first time coat, and then I go over it really good with the second coat. But this is such good paint, like you really don't need a second coat, but I did a second coat. This is going to be distressed anyway, so I made sure that I did a really good job on the first coat, but I still left spaces or spots unpainted, so I wasn't worried that you could still see the black through the gray. And he picked a beautiful color. My goodness, that Chicago gray is beautiful. And as you can see, I'm using my laundry room / sitting room that I just got the shiplap done in. This is now my work room, has turned into my work room again. This was in the summertime,
and I have worked really hard to get it cleared out, and guess what? It's full again. So I don't even know. The struggles of a DIYer. All right, guys, I just want to remind you that today is Third Thursday Thrift Flips, and today our special guest is Marla from The Chic Show. And oh my goodness, if you have not seen her channel, you need to hop on over there and check her out because she does amazing work, and she is right up my alley. And don't forget to go over and say hello to Elizabeth over at Southern Gmore Gals. Elizabeth and I host Third Thursday Thrift Flips every third Thursday of the month. And if you're a DIYer, we'd love for you to join us. This is an open invite, and it's every third Thursday of the month. Just reach out to us on Instagram and we'd be glad to add you to the chat. I will leave the links to their channel as well as the link to the playlist in the description box below. And you're going to want to stay tuned till the end because I have a special surprise for you. So all of you that stick around to the end, you're going to want those other people to leave so that you can get the information that I'm going to give you later. All right. So this is what my quick and dirty coat looks like. And if I have any dog hairs in there, which inevitably I do, because look at my two supervisors standing over me every second of every day. I just rub it out and before I put on the second coat of paint. But this is what my quick and dirty looks like. And then this is how I do my drawers. So I make sure that everything is dry and I wait till like 24 hours later after I spray paint it and then I clear coat it. 24 hours later, then I add the paint. And then I try to wait another 24 hours before I put on the second coat. And just so you know, just a little tidbit, side note, I guess, I had a different video planned for you today, but I have been sick with the flu. I'm going to blame my husband because he was sick first. And yeah, so that was fun. I am just getting recovered from it, and I needed to get out a video for Thursday, and I had this one stashed away, thank goodness, because I didn't get to post it last summer. So thank goodness I had an extra video. All right, so this is how I paint my drawers. And again, I just do a quick and dirty job. I don't load the paintbrush down. I literally kind of dry coat it or dry brush it on there. And I do the same for these drawers that have the carvings in it. And I believe there's only 3 drawers or maybe 2 drawers that have carvings. It's a very 70s dresser. But I think we bring it to the 20th century or the 21st century, and I think it turns out super cute. I like it. And my son loved it, so that's all that matters. And this sucker is heavy. Oh my goodness. It is I believe the brand was it was either Lane or Bakersville. Bakersville, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, I should have taken a picture of that. But it's one of those really well-built, solid wood, heavy dressers. He'll have it for years to come. Trust me. Unless it gets dropped off a truck again, then who knows. So on these carved out pieces, I literally just dry brush over them. I don't put a heavy coat of paint on them because I still want them to look distressed. I want that black to show through. And so now I'm going to do a second coat. And I'm just showing you when I do a second coat, I literally just do a quick second coat. It didn't take long at all. I was so impressed with this Annie Sloan paint. I was like, man, if it wasn't so expensive, I loved it. Like, I want to buy more, but I'm just going to use what I got. So I've already distressed the body of this dresser, and I'm just showing you that I distressed some of the edges. That's what it looks like after I painted 2 coats on there. So I didn't get it all completely 100% covered. I started to distress the top, but I didn't like it because it was distressing the wrong direction. And now I was going all one direction when I distressed. And so I had to repaint the top and start again. The sides looked amazing. I was not thrilled with the top. And I don't know what was going on with the top, but for some reason, I just could not get the distressing to my liking. So I'm just showing you, I use 220 grit sandpaper and I wrap it around a sanding block because I want to hand distress it. And then I just go to town on these drawers. And guys, don't forget to stick around to the end. I got some bloopers for you. I have a surprise for you. And by the way, if you didn't already know it, today is 10 days until Christmas. Yes, 10 days. Can you believe that? Like, I can't even wrap my brain around that. I have a kitchen table full of Christmas gifts that I need to wrap, and I'm still like, oh, I got plenty of time. But I literally have 10 days. And part of those days I'm going to be working. Okay, so now it's time to clear coat. So I use my polyacrylic and I do not go this fast. I actually go pretty slow because I don't want drips and I don't want bubbles. So I put on a super light coat. Is it light coat? A super thin coat. Let's go with that. I put on a super thin coat and then I go back over it 2 more times. So here's how slow I really go. And I try not to overwork it, but sometimes I do. Um, and I try to make sure that I get all the little drips. You don't want any drips, you don't want any bubbles. So that's why I go so slow because I don't want those bubbles or drips. And I like the strokes to go all one direction. So I take nice long strokes. And now I'm deciding, okay, which way do I go now? Okay, I got to make sure there's no drips and then I move on. So I'm just showing you go slow, take your time. There's no rush. And then here I am doing the drawers. And I do the drawers just as slow because they're even harder to do and not get drips, especially when there's all those little grooves. Guys, if you're returning, I want to thank you so much for joining us every time and supporting my channel and subscribing. And if you're new here, I would love it if you would please consider subscribing and supporting my channel. It really helps my channel to grow and it helps push my channel out to other YouTubers or to other viewers that might enjoy DIY videos as well. All right, so here I have already repainted the top of the dresser again. And now I am just sanding it down, making it smooth as a baby's bottom or my husband's bald head. I actually use, I think I show you later, but I'm using 220 right now and I am just giving it a light coat. No, I'm giving it a light sanding. See, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm still recovering, guys. I'm sorry. Whenever I paint my furniture, you think you only have to do a light sanding. You really have to sand, sand, and sand. Sometimes you sand and repaint. Sometimes you repaint and sand. I mean, there's a lot of sanding that goes on because you don't want those imperfections to show because once you clear coat it, they will show no matter what. So I am constantly sanding and then I rub it with my hand just to make sure that it is nice and smooth because if I feel it with my hand, you're going to see it with your eye. And I go all one direction. Except for right there. I go the opposite direction. But I go back over it. Anyway, so I was having a hard time getting this top done with it on its side like this. So I actually had my husband move it into the kitchen so I could finish sanding the top and getting it to my liking. I'm pretty particular when it comes to my furniture. So here I am. I'm still sanding on it. Now this is really good paint. The Annie Sloan paint is amazing and it does a really, really good job. And here I am vacuuming up the dust. And I go over this several times with different levels of sandpaper, just because I want a really nice, and there I'm using my 600 grit. I want a really nice smooth finish. And when I distress it, I want it to be nice and smooth. I don't want there to be any ridges or anything like that. I want it to distress nice and evenly. And even though I go all one direction to distress it, it still distresses in in a different pattern. Like it looks like I went several different directions to distress the dresser, and I honestly didn't. I literally went back and forth like you're seeing me do here, and it just distressed where it wanted to. So no matter how you paint something or how you distress it, it's still going to distress how it wants to. It will distress really good in some spots really easily, and it will be harder in other spots. So I just go with the piece of furniture and it just does what it wants to do. The top of this is heavily distressed because that's what my son wanted. I think you'll see in the end that it turns out pretty fantastic. I was pretty proud of this piece. This is my favorite part. My favorite part is putting the top coat on the top. I hate doing the drawers. I don't mind doing the sides, but my favorite part is clear coating the top, because when I do the top, that's when I know I'm almost done, because I do everything else first. I do the sides, the body, the drawers, and I save the top for last because, well, it's the easiest. And I think it's the most beautiful, because that's what everybody's going to look at. That's what everybody sees. So that's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I really love the distressing on this because I like distressed furniture. So if you don't like distressed furniture, this probably isn't for you. But I really love how it turned out. And I went ahead and I put 3 coats on the top, and you can see the brown coming through, the black, and the gray. I love it. And he loved it too, so that's all that matters. So then I took this vintage, I don't know what you call it. So then I took the vintage drawer pulls and hardware outside, and I coated them with 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum 2 times matte in black. And then I also gave them a coat of the matte clear Rust-Oleum. And we put the drawers in a little different than the way Goodwill had them. I think you can configure these however you want, but 3 of the drawers are extra wide, like this one. It looks like 2 drawers put together. It's like a drawer and a half size, really. And then the smaller drawers are on the right side. So the dresser is deceiving. It looks like it's got a left and a right and a middle, but it doesn't. It has 3 rights and 3 left side drawers, so 6 drawers total. But once we get the hardware on there, my goodness. And I asked him if he wanted different hardware, and he didn't. He wanted the same hardware, and it came with all of it, so that was lucky. I love these drawer pulls. Look at that. And that's how it turned out. It's my daughter in the background. I think she was putting dishes away. So we're not going to bother her. All right, guys, I just want to remind you today is Third Thursday Thrift Flips. So make sure to go over and visit Marla's channel at the Chic Show DIY and Elizabeth's channel over at Southern Gmore Gals. And don't forget to let them know that Tammy sent you if you haven't been there before. I will leave the links to their channel as well as a link to the playlist down below in my description box. And I will also leave it in my comments and I will pin it to the top. Now, make sure you stay tuned. I got something coming up special for you. But first, here is the final reveal. This is what it looked like in my son's room right before he took it and moved out. Yes, he moved out on me. I was so sad. Heartbroken, really, because he's my baby, the last to go. Anyway, it's a sad day when your baby leaves home to go be an adult. So this is what the dresser looked like in his room. Actually, that's not what the dresser looked like in his room. That's after he cleaned it off of all the pop cans, chip bags, and the game console, and the game controllers, and all the other stuff he had piled on there. All right, guys, now it's time for a giveaway. Yes, you heard right. I said giveaway. Remember when I tried to give away that Hiippo heat press, mini heat press? Okay, well, we're going to do that today. All I need you to do is type reindeer down below in the comments and let me know that you would like a mini heat press. I will put the instructions down below in my description box because I don't want scammers to get a hold of this video and try to scam everyone again. So we're going to try this again. So I will put the dates of this giveaway in the description box so that you will have all the details down below. All you have to do is comment reindeer.
Explain what you're going to do, or are you just going to complain that Sydney broke it?
I'm recording. You need to stop. All right, now my son has already used crud cutter.
Clud cutter.
Crud clutter. I don't know what you call it.
All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a fabulous weekend and a Merry, Merry Christmas. Bye for now.